sit down. Okay, I need everyone to sit down, be quiet, and be ready for the meeting.
It's time to start the meeting. Everyone sit down and be quiet, please.
All right, the first meeting of the hearing, regular board meeting regarding representatives of the Chaplain Hudson Power Express.
Also known as CHPE.
Hello, my name is Laura Gibson. I'm the Director of Workforce at CHP, Champlain Hudson Power Express. Thank you so much for giving us an audience and letting us come and provide an update on the construction of our project. Just so you're here seeking a letter, and we're actually not only in construction, but over 50% complete. So we'll be providing 100% clean energy to Astoria in 2026. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Chuck Fontenot, who runs the construction here.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for having us. I am Chuck Fontenot. I'm the Vice President of the construction for CHPE and working with EEJ Electric, doing the construction here in Astoria. We have a couple slides to go over. I'm going to show you the big route, show you the map of Astoria where we're actually working, and just go over some of our schedule, which is rough, but I'm going to go over it with you anyways, and some things that we're doing in the park, just as extra precautions. So with that, if we can go to the first slide, there it is. Okay, so this project starts, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it, but it starts up in Canada, goes down to Lake Champlain, comes in up in Putnam Station, right around Lake George. The green area is the land area, and it runs down the railroad tracks. So you got Lake Champlain, railroad tracks, you have CP, CSX, and then we go down the Hudson River, and then over here we got Astoria. So this cable comes across the East River, under the river, and comes up over the Con Ed Astoria complex off of 35th Street. So we are providing 20% of the electricity that's going to be used in this area, New York City, Astoria. It's all buried. We're taking, 37 million metric tons out of the air, harmful pollutants out of the air. That's about 44% of the passenger vehicles in the New York City streets with this cable. So there's a lot of benefits to this. We're putting well over 1,400 union workers to work building this cable, building this line. It's all union. We have people on land, people on the water, people in the converter station. There's so much work going on right now. It's a very impressive project. I've been doing this for over 40 years, and this is the biggest and probably the best project that I've ever worked on. And I think I share that with all of my teammates that work for Transmission Developers. Transmission Developers is the owner, and we call it the Champlain Hudson Power Express. Can we go to the next slide, please? Oh, you're doing it. Okay. So this is our map of Astoria. That little square that was in that last map, we kind of blew it up. And we've broken it up into different segments. Basically, every manholes go anywhere from 1,000 feet to 2,500 feet apart. We have 10 sections of cable that we're putting in there, so we have 10 manholes. And the green area is areas that we already have approval to work. A little color chart here, but the green areas where we have permission to go to work. The yellow areas, this is mostly in the Astoria Park area. We just received, the slide was done, and we just received permission to go to work up to manhole 6, so that'll go green. And we actually started working in there today, over by what we call manhole 5. This orange area is the only area on this project, for this area, that is still in design. And it's up in the top right corner here, right at the corner of 20th and Shore Boulevard, where we're working with the DEP. They have a an interceptor sewer in there that we have to move because our cable is going to be on top of it. And in the future, if there's any problem, they want to make sure that they can work on their stuff without, you know, being a nuisance or a hindrance to what we have or us stopping them from going in there. So we're making sure that along the route, we've done about 65 different locations where we're moving sewer lines or a water line, things like that, with hopefully very little interruption to any of the residents. We'll knock on your door, we'll tell you your water's going to be out for a couple hours. It is an inconvenience, and we apologize for that, but it's part of the things we have to do. So the red area is areas we're still working to get a full approval on. We're planning. We're working with Con Ed. Because our cable is 345,000 volts, it runs down the streets. Con Ed has several 345,000 volt lines that run in the street. And you got to make sure they don't interfere with one another, that they don't drop, you know, one can steal load from another. It can hinder the cable's performance. So what we're doing is we're doing a lot of studies to make sure that that doesn't happen. So once we're in agreement with Con Ed, then we'll get the approval to go ahead. And those approvals mean adding an extra foot of sand between them, or going a little deeper or a little higher, just to make sure we have the distance away. It's not big decisions, but the calculations just take a long time. I don't do that. I dig holes. We got a lot of smart people that are doing the engineering to make sure that that doesn't happen and we don't lose any of our load out in the street. So here's our schedule. I know it's kind of an eye chart, right? But basically what we're doing is we have several crews, crews 1, 2, and 3, and they do all our trenching and duct bank. In that crew, we might have 3 or 4 separate crews with a foreman. So the crew is kind of a foreman or a supervisor, and they'll have assignments where they go from manhole to manhole doing the trenching. And we call it the duct bank is when the conduit in and we have the concrete on top of it. That's the duct bank. The trench is getting that ready for the duct bank. So these crews do all of that. They'll spread out. You can see our timeline. We started in August. We're going out to July of 25. Over here, this manhole 4 to 5. That's the 14th Street. That is coming off of, I believe, Astoria Boulevard. It's very congested. It's going to be, the guys are going to be in there for a while. So we just have this one crew working up in there. This crew 3. They're the ones that are starting in the park. We're designating many crews into the park. We're going to be starting in there. We started today. We want to be out of there by April. And I have a slide just on parks, and I want to go over a couple things with you when we get to that slide. But those crews will be staying in the park. Don't get concerned about the heavy crew. It's really, that's what we call our relocate crew. They're out there. They're jumping around, working with the crews, making sure we move the storm drains, we move the water, the sewer, things like that. It's how we named our crew. But it's the EJ Electric, it's their relocate crew. So, and then we have a manhole crew. Their assignment is strictly putting in the manholes. Usually takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to get a manhole installed, depending on the water and what we have to do. But if they have any downtime, we end up putting them with a trenching crew, and they go and assist to help the trenching. Our vac crews, they stay in the substations. They use a vac truck. We can't use any booms or anything like that in the substations because of all the overhead bus work. We don't want anybody getting electrocuted. So that's our vac crews. Gas mitigation. So we have gas lines running all through the street. We have to make sure electricity can play havoc with gas, the way the pipes corrode and stuff like that. So we do a lot of protection of the gas pipe. We also protect the workers that are working on the gas pipe. So it's all stuff we have to do underground, attaching ground wires and such to make sure that we keep everybody safe and nothing happens to the gas. Once all this work is done, we'll start pulling the cable. That's a trailer set up on top of the manhole. We'll run our wires in. We'll get rid of the trailer. A van comes in and probably spends about a week there splicing all the cables together. There's 6 cables in every manhole, so that's 6 splices that have to be done. So it's tedious work. It takes a little bit of time, but once that's done, we'll test and commission. And up in Canada, they're going to throw the switch, and down here, we're going to measure and see if we got power, and hopefully all the lights go on when that happens. So that's our goal. So kind of a rough schedule, but we plan on being done in February of 26 and turning the lights on. And we have a really tough goal to hit, but everybody is working towards that goal. We have to hit it you know, because we want to provide that power for New York City, so, in Astoria. So, you can go to the next slide, Laura, please. The park. We've spent months talking with the park. Park really protects the park, and they're, you know, good people to work with, and we went through a lot to make sure that what we're doing in the park doesn't affect the park at all, and that people will still be able to enjoy the park. And so, installing manhole 5 and 6, we had to come up with an MPT plan. That MPT plan is used for traffic a lot of times. We called it our pedestrian plan, to make sure that people that are in the park, crossing Shore Boulevard, walking on the sidewalks, using the bike lanes, are going to be protected. We have a whole vast of different style ADA compliant ramps we're putting in all over the place so that people can walk around our construction. Our construction will be fenced off, probably about 200-foot sections. So we'll move the ramps around, or where we have some, you know, areas we have to go by, we'll make sure that everybody can cross safely. We're going to keep, well, that's down here, the emergency lane, but the sidewalks will remain open on both sides. We've been communicating with the bike clubs. Laura's team has been sending flyers out, letting them know that there's going to be construction in the park. There's going to be signage. We're going to have flaggers out there when the guys are working for the pedestrians, not just because, as most of you probably know, cars aren't supposed to go down Shore Boulevard in the park. Some people do sneak through, but we'll have flaggers out there basically for the pedestrians using the park, whether it's bicycle riders, joggers, walkers, fishermen, people just enjoying looking at the water. So we want to make sure that we keep that open for everybody. We're going to keep an emergency lane open while we're doing construction. There's a couple days we're going to have to shut it down, but we're communicating with the fire and police to let them know that that'll be shut down. And that's when we bring the big crane in to set the manhole and get the manhole covered. When we're doing our trench, that lane will be open the whole time. Again, flaggers. If something happens in the park, all our construction workers stop working. They assist the EMTs or the police, whatever, getting them to where they have to be. That's our plan. We talk about it in the mornings with our crews, and we make sure we're very diligent about that. We don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially because of what we're doing. So we've overemphasized the signage, flashing signs, and just having people out there directing people in the right direction. No trees will be affected. We are doing some pruning. We're not taking any trees down. We do have to do some pruning, and we're protecting all the trees along the route. I know you're used to seeing the orange fence around the trees. We're doing that to make sure we don't hurt any of the trees. And then when we're done, the entire length of Shore Boulevard within the park boundaries will be repaved, restriped. We're working with the Parks Department now and DOT to make sure that that striping plan is what they want, what they need. We want to make sure, and we keep emphasizing, we want it better than when we got there. So that's our plan for the park. And yeah, that's, go ahead, Laura. I think, oh, next slide's Laura's, so here you go.
Thank you, Chuck. So we do have a community engagement team, a key reference. So before we start construction, we will go out and provide mailers or do door-to-door outreach so that people know we're coming and construction is starting. We've also done several open houses in the neighborhood, and we've connected with the businesses like Costco and Noguchi that are going to be along our route. And we have a commitment to, of course, reinvest in the community. So we have, just threw some pictures up. This is not everything, but some of the things we do. We've been doing worker appreciation lunches with local restaurants. We have King Falafel. We went to a pizza place. I mean, that's going to be ongoing. And we provided a Mr. Softy truck at an Astoria movie night. So small things like that. We've also made a large investment into a new STEM lab for the Boys and Girls Club, and we support Socrates. I did want supporting trainings that connect to unions so workers can get into a union. Training called Pathways to Apprenticeship that's recruiting right now. So I brought some others. They're working to connect disadvantaged workers who are unemployed to Local 78 for this specific class. and the training's paying for all their certifications, and it also pays for their union book, and all of that together comes close to $1,000. So it's a really good opportunity. If you know someone interested or do workforce yourself, I'll leave them in the back. So we were here to provide an update. We're happy to take a couple of questions, if there are any. If not, we can follow up offline.
Okay, is any board, hold on, any board members have a question, raise your hand. Okay. Chris? Chris?
Hi, thank you so much. I'm just curious, how does it work in terms of customers receiving the power that you're providing? Does it go through Con Edison and folks are billed by Con Ed? Like, are you providing it to, I'm just not quite sure what that looks like.
All right, I gave myself a little protection when I started this, right? I said,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that digs the trenches. But I've been a lineman for about 40 years in my career, right? So what happens is this power comes down from Canada. It's DC power, 345,000 volt DC. We're building a big building over there in Astoria Complex. It's a converter station, which takes it from DC to AC. So we're taking the AC power, and there is a substation over there, right, that can provide some power, but we're bringing in 1,250 megawatts. That's a lot of juice, right? So we have to get a line that's the line we're putting in that goes from here over to the Rainy sub. That's 345,000 volts AC. Okay, AC is what they need in the substation to transform down to a lower voltage that they run out in the street. And I'm not going to give you a science project here, but it's a lower voltage, usually around 27,000 volts or 13,000 volts. It goes to that transformer that's in the ground or a transformer that's on a pole, breaks it down to the power that comes to your house. So we feed the transmission substations, we feed distribution substations that feed your house, your business.
But you don't collect fees from customers yourself for the power that.
Not that the customers, but there is, if you look at your electric bills, there is a portion of your bill that says the transmission cost, the wheeling, some people call it wheeling cost. I don't know exactly how it's on each Con Ed's bill, but it's a transmission cost. There's always a cost of transmission, distribution, and then, that doesn't come to us. No.
Anyone else have a question? Please use the microphone. I forgot to remind you, Chris. You haven't recorded.
I live at 2602 14th Street, and I understand when you finish Astoria Park there, that area, you're going to be coming upon my street. And are you going to be digging up the street, the sidewalk?
So I'd have to look at, I don't know all the addresses, but there's portions that we are going like down one side of the road, either side of the yellow line. Mm-hmm. There's a few sections like across from Industrial Tractor, right past Astoria Boulevard. Manhole 4 actually goes up into the sidewalk.
No, my street is strictly residential. There's no commercial.
Oh, okay.
It's strictly residential. It's one block, well, actually, I'm the second block up from Astoria Park on 14th Street.
Okay, we're going down at 14th Ave, right? Is this 14th?
No,
Oh,
there's no
14th.
14th Ave.
Okay.
It's Astoria Park, what is it, south? And
Yeah.
then you'll come up
We are
to...
probably right in the street there, probably. I can't guarantee.
Okay, have you come around and did any markings yet?
Up there, they probably did markings. They're probably gone by now. But
No, my sidewalk has all red drawing on it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's from us or from the gas company doing some work out there or something like that, so.
Well, they just finished doing,
If
in
I write
fact, they're
your-
still doing construction. They're putting new water lines, but they said they didn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why my whole sidewalk is painted all red lines on it.
I can't answer that, but I'm more than happy to write your address down and take a look. I'll follow up.
Okay.
I don't know every address out there, I'm sorry, but.
Well, I'm the house
Yeah.
on kind of the corner of 26th Avenue and 14th Street.
Okay,
So,
I will drive by,
okay.
yeah.
Next,
Thank you for your presentation. It's not clear that bike lane is going to be active when the construction is going to go on, because you said that, the sidewalk would be the active, but, are you closing the bike lane?
So we are working with Parks on that. That is totally between Parks and DOT. They're going to tell us exactly what they want. But our plan is to have the signage. So If the bike lane is not, our emergency lane is probably gonna be used for bikes. We'll allow bikes on the emergency lane because it's only open for, emergency vehicles. So that's, and then if we're detouring them off of shore, we're gonna have tons of signs out there and our flaggers will be out there. So, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, last question, Richard?
Yeah, on 14th Street, which is Jean Marie, where she is, it's very near Astoria Park South, okay? So that's the
Okay.
area we're talking about. That street has gotten very busy since the bus lane was put on 21st Street. It's a major north-south lane of traffic, particularly in the mornings during rush hour. What time do you plan on starting to close down these streets? If there's any way that you can hold off until rush hour is over to actually close the streets, that would greatly help the traffic situation because it's going to be, it could easily be a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't have an exact answer for you, but our EJ construction outfit, you know, they're putting in their street opening permits, and they get their stipulations through those permits that give them the times they're allowed to work on those streets. And I know in some areas, they are restricted times because of buses and things like that. I can't answer your exact question, but I can tell you that's how it works for us, and we can look into, you know, that area.
Yeah, if you could check it out and see what the permits say and get back to Florence or something, that
Sure.
would be great. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, if anybody else has a question, either the board or visitors, please email Florence. She'll forward it to the people.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Okay, we're doing the public session now. Remember, everyone gets 2 minutes, and I mean 2 minutes. And if anyone's here with a group of people, I'm not going to allow the whole group to speak. I'm going to ask 2 or 3 of the people decide who will speak on their behalf, because I think we have a lot of people here tonight. So, does anybody want to speak with a public session? Please sign in. You have 2 minutes. Step up to the podium. Please state your name and sign in.
Hi, good night, everyone. My name is Natasha. I am here with the New York City. I'm a little short, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you for hearing me. My name is Natasha. I am the Queens Outreach Coordinator for the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. The CCRB, we are a city agency that investigates, or tasked with investigating unbiasedly the NYPD for things like excessive force, abuse of authority, bias-based policing, and racial profiling. I'm here to share that we have a youth advisory council and we are accepting applications. Our youth advisory council is a group of young New Yorkers between the ages of 10 and 18. They are committed to community relations and having conversations about their relationship with NYPD and how to better that relationship. So they go out, they're ambassadors for their community. They advise us on how to better that relationship with youth and NYPD oversight. And we recently had a youth summit that was absolutely awesome. In Harlem, we had over 100 young people register and give their input from different backgrounds, from different communities, and they had a lot to say. So we're opening our applications, hoping that we get a lot more young people, hear their voices, get their input. The deadline is December 31st, and you can access the application on our website, which is www.nyc.gov/CCRB outreach. I'll say that again. It's www.nyc.gov/CCRB outreach. Thank you so much for the time.
Good evening. Last month, I came to this board and spoke to its members.
Excuse me, can you tell us your name and sign in, please?
I already did. I'm signed in. Traysana Abbott. My name is Traysana Abbott. Sorry. Last month I came to this board to speak to its members in an effort to have Amy Howe removed from its membership for a kafia ban that she instilled at the Noguchi Museum. As I stand here, the death toll for Israel's genocide has reached over 44,000 Palestinians and over 3,000 Lebanese people. This is a conservative number as it does not include the scores of people missing and trapped under the rubble. They attack women, children, non-combatants, healthcare workers, aid workers, journalists, and the land with complete impunity. Despite having the technology to avoid needless slaughter, the Israeli military chooses wanton bloodshed and brag about it. This is genocide. I worked at the Noguchi Museum for 3.5 years, and I worked on the Anti-Oppression Committee and put together the staff exhibition of 2023. I care deeply about that place, just as I care about my neighborhood and my community. I don't stand up here hoping for my job back. Those days are gone, but the Noguchi Museum is in Astoria, and as a resident of this great and diverse neighborhood, I am not okay with silently accepting that an institution in this neighborhood is banning a culturally significant garment, especially in a time of genocide. People often like to think they'd automatically be on the right side of history. Of course I wouldn't be okay with Jim Crow and lynchings. Of course I wouldn't allow my neighbors to be taken to concentration camps. Of course I'd speak up for a group of people being erased. This past August, Amy Howe gave me the opportunity to prove what side of history I'd be on. She gave me the ultimatum, remove the keffiyeh or I'd been wearing peacefully for months or I wouldn't be allowed to work at the museum anymore. I will not help Palestine be erased. I refused to take off the keffiyeh. I made my choice and I lost my job. Amy Howe made a choice as well. And just as I had to face the consequences of my choice, she should have to face the consequences of hers. Remove Amy Howe from this board. Speak up against the ethnic cleansing Israel's committing to with our tax money. Free Palestine. Thank you.
Did you sign in?
Yep. Good evening, everyone. My name is Connor Kaufman. I am the director of the Astoria Family Enrichment Center, a community-led community center looking to open soon at 3118 31st Street. You may be asking yourself what I mean when I say community-led. By this, I mean part of the Family Enrichment Center model, which is already in place in different neighborhoods across the 5 boroughs since 2017. This model operates by that all programming and offerings at the center are decided by the community. The model works by community walking in and telling my staff and I what they need, and we do our very best to provide services. These services can be anything from free clothes to food pantries to housing rights workshops. We are actively looking for community to be a part of this collaborative process. If the FEC model is something that interests you, please feel free to talk to me after the meeting. I've left flyers at the front. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at Astoria FEC. Thank you very much.
Do you take donations, like clothing donations and any donations for disadvantaged people in our area?
So we are currently still under construction for our site, but we would be open to taking donations. That, of course, depends on what the donation is, what the need of community is, but that's something happy to work out.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you sign in?
Yes, I did. Good evening, members of the Community Board. My name is Maham Malik. I'm an advocate from CUNY Graduate School of Public Health. Thank you for giving me the opportunity today to speak about an important issue that's affecting thousands of food delivery workers in New York City. I'm here to advocate and spread awareness for Bill 0859. It's a proposed local law that requires third-party food delivery platforms to provide workers with clear and detailed pay calculations. Every day, food delivery workers navigate our streets, ensuring that we receive meals and groceries quickly and effectively. Despite their essential roles, many workers face pay uncertainty, and they're often left wondering what their earnings are. And it overall leads to confusion and financial insecurity. Bill 0859 addresses this by mandating transparency, ensuring workers can see how much they're being paid, and it breaks down tip, base pay, and any other fees. Transparency promotes fairness and within the gig economy, accountability, and dignity within the workplace.
So overall, your support really matters. By endorsing this bill, it sends a powerful message to City Council that we as a community stand by food delivery workers in their fight for fairness and financial clarity. I urge you to discuss this bill with your coworkers, your networks, your elected officials, to look over the bill and advocate for its passage. Together, we can ensure that New York City continues to be a city that values fairness and equity for all workers. Thank you. I handed out a policy brief just to go over. And if you're able to spread awareness with your coworkers, with your city council members, anybody, that would be greatly appreciated to help the bill reach more people overall. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Signing? Okay. Yes.
How's it going? My name is John Heaney. I am an Astoria resident of about 10 years now. I'm from New York. I have mostly lived my life as a pedestrian and a cyclist. And recently it has been very hard to do so here. I believe it was one day after y'all last met. A woman named Amanda was killed in a high-speed collision in our neighborhood on 34th Avenue and 37th Street. It is a tragic, entirely preventable death that happened at the hand of a high-speed vehicle and our police, members of our police precinct in tow. I do not know what needs to happen, but I do know that I no longer feel safe here. I have been riding in this city for over 15 years, since before Vision Zero. I remember what it used to be like. I also remember what it was like in 2019, and it wasn't nearly as bad as it is now. I no longer feel comfortable riding around our streets, and that's with upgraded infrastructure from the DOT. I don't think the DOT can fix how dangerous people are driving, and I'm not sure how you all can help, but I think you all can help us somehow. I will also be at the 114 meeting next week, also pleading with them to try and make this better, but I'm just here as a citizen hoping that you all can help me. That is it.
Anybody else? Don't forget to sign in, please.
My name is Howard. I'm an Astoria resident of 5 years, and I know John, and I wanted to add on to some of what he said, because I do believe this board does have some power. Like, I believe you guys write letters, and you could write a letter to the NYPD, to the 114th, asking that they, to the best of their ability, not engage in high-speed pursuits in our neighborhood, unless it's absolutely necessary. This is an active investigation, and so we don't have all the facts. I don't even think the criminals have been caught yet. But, from what we understand so far, this was over a robbery, of a construction site. And, it was, I don't know the value, and some cop cars were hit, but I'm not sure it rose to the level of, requiring this high-speed chase through our neighborhood. And hopefully, at higher levels, laws can be changed, or, provisions made that have stricter guidelines that the NYPD need to follow for these chases. But I do hope this board considers, the things that they can do, such as this letter and other measures. And, Amanda was known by a lot of people in this community, an important, moderator of a community-driven, neighborhood group online that a lot of us found a lot of happiness in during the pandemic, including myself and some of my friends here tonight. So, thank you for your consideration.
Sir, did you sign in? Sir, are you here for the same matter?
It is one of two things I wanted to bring up.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Sir, can you answer my question?
Yeah, it is one of two things that I wanted to bring up.
Are you addressing the same issue as the first two speakers?
One of the two things is,
Okay.
yes.
This will be the
related.
last person speaking on this matter, okay?
Okay.
Hold on, sir. Yes?
So I'm Frank, I'm the Vice Chair of the Public Safety Committee. I'm just curious, if not everyone gets to speak, who here is in the room particularly about this issue? Can you raise your hand? Great. Absolutely. So, a few of us from the Public Safety Committee are here, and we'd be happy to also chat with you and also talk maybe a bit about how you might want to approach next week. Because this is a public safety concern, and we'd love to make more space that may be made available at this meeting. So thank you for coming out, and hope by me tonight after the meeting.
Thank you.
And just a quick plus one
Okay,
on
so
that.
this will be the last talker on this matter, please. If you need to do something regarding the committee, do it into the future, please. Thank you.
And I just want to add on to what Frank said. I don't know if Dom had mentioned this to you guys yet, but we are looking to set up a meeting, probably a joint one, with NYPD Community Affairs to address the...
We're out of order with this. You two will speak afterwards and set something up through Florence.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
We have to keep calm. Okay, sir, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. My name's Bobby. I'm a resident of Astoria. Related to what we've been talking about tonight, I think it's already clear that I wanted to express my outrage, concern, and overall fear as a person who gets around by bike here, but I won't need to take up any more time on that. We lost Amanda, and that's sad. Tragic, and sorry, moving on. A smaller thing, but also I think no less important in this context, a temporary crosswalk was spray painted onto the ground in Astoria Park, I think early this year, and it was gone in a matter of a month or so. Now that the clocks have changed, I am out there now almost always at night. That crosswalk crossed the entrance to the parking lot that comes in off of Hoyt, the only entrance into the parking lot within Astoria Park. Drivers often are going very fast right around that corner. There's a lot of blind spots too. I've almost been hit there several times myself. I've also witnessed a lot of close calls. There's nothing telling someone to stop for a pedestrian, and it's physically within a park, and it is literally intersecting a road that people are walking on. That is its entire point. So I am here to ask and hope that we can get a real crosswalk installed, something also hopefully that forces drivers to slow down, because we are talking about a park here. I feel like that shouldn't be too much to ask, but that's all. Thank you.
I asked anybody who needs to call Florence this morning or send her an email regarding this matter. Okay, this matter is closed. Is there anybody else on any other topics in the community? Going once, going twice. Okay. Next session is our business session. We need a motion to adopt the minutes of the meeting and a second. Motion. Okay. Next we have the chairman's report. I'm here as the second chair in relation to both Evie and Amy, who could not make it tonight. I have no report, but I will move it over to the district manager's report. Florence?
Bobby, please call the office. I need more details for the crosswalk. Today, at Borough Cabinet, district managers of Queens met with the Queens District Attorney and her staff to discuss fraud. Due to the time of year and the holiday season coming up, this was timely information. Our office has shared with you a copy of the PowerPoint presentation in your documents, the version of the PDF for your review. This document includes various types of scams: holiday scams, fake charity scams, phone, romance, stolen check, also known as check washing scams. Homeowner scams and identity theft are described. Our office is providing the membership with an ink gel pen currently to protect you from check washing. Please make an effort to use these and go directly into your local post office if mailing checks during the holiday season. Phishing in mailboxes is still occurring. This brochure will be very informative for you at this time and into the future. Recent local updates regarding Queens North in partnership with the task force has been working to rectify conditions. Some recent updates are as follows. 10 summonses of vehicles and 4 seizures. Locations, Astoria Boulevard and Steinway Street, 2 vendors, 12th Street and 40th Avenue, unlicensed food vendors, 21st Street and 40th Avenue, unlicensed food vendors, BQE Service Road, 61st Street and 34th Avenue, 48th Street, 37th Avenue, Vernon Boulevard, and 43rd Road. Enforcement has been incurring. 17 vehicles were towed, 28 summonses were written. There goes my report. Have a happy, healthy Thanksgiving to you all.
Okay, now we'll start with committee reports going in the list. We'll start with business and economic development. Either Brian available?
Yes, we don't have anything further to report on that's new from last report. We are working on setting up a date for our next board meeting, so we'll get you guys informed on all of that when we do lock something down. In the meantime, everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Corinne, do you have anything else to report on the capital expense budget? Maybe he's not here. Okay.
For the houses, correct? For all
Okay. All right, thank you. Next, communications and public outreach. Uma.
Hey everyone, we haven't met yet since the summer break, but I will work with Florence to get a meeting set up for our next general board meeting. Oh, thank you. If you have any topics, please find me after this meeting. Thank you.
All right, consumer affairs and licenses. Kathleen, or someone here to represent?
In the absence of Kathleen, and she was not at the last committee meeting either, so I'm going to give you a breakdown. The attached list for November 2024 liquor licenses, only one was called in, and that's only because they were brand new. That was Willoughby in New York, who came before us, and they are going to be a piano bar, something unusual in this neighborhood. With all the liquor licenses, we had no problem, as neither the precinct nor the Florence or the office had received any complaints. Then we went through outdoor dining applications, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all well known to us. They were all benign. Avenue Cafe, we did ask that they remove 1 table and 6 chairs, as we thought it was excessive for that location, and they agreed to that. Then we had 2 cannabis applications, K&T Express, 4501 Northern, and High City Cannabis at 2235 31st Street, which was, that location happened to be operating illegally prior. So, but this new owner was not part of that, so he will be opening in December if he gets approved. So we saw no reason to deny any of the applications. So if I could get a motion from someone to approve all as read. Antonella, second. Antonella. That was the second. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Jean Marie? I think we have 2 on Steinway, 1 on Diplois, maybe 1 on Broadway.
Office of Cannabis Management does not notify the board office when they are legalized. So it's a guesstimation, as Marie stated, because once we're done with it, they don't come back to us.
So what do you think, maybe about 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 right now.
Everything else is basically unlicensed.
Yes.
I'd like to add, those who approve the motion, raise their hand. Anybody not voting?
Anybody voting no? Abstain.
No.
And 2 abstentions. Thank you.
Next is, sorry, this print is so small. Education, libraries, youth and services. Amin.
Good evening, everyone. We are preparing our letter. Next meeting, we're going to have a meeting on January, and then we're going to go from there. Happy holiday, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, next is environmental and sanitation, Antonella.
Hey, thank you. We had our committee meeting yesterday with the Champlain Hudson Power Express. Obviously, they gave you the presentation pretty quickly. There's no environmental impact as a result in our area as a result of that project. And the other thing that I thought was important to note was that they're funding a green economy program where they have training for apprentices, giving them a line to get into union jobs. So they were supposed to send us a flyer, and once Florence gets that, we'll send it to the committee so that you can send it out to your network, and in hopes of giving job opportunities or union job opportunities in our area. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Executive Board, no report. Health and Human Services. Shamez, so we say it right?
Yes.
Sorry.
No
Very
problem.
small.
Thank you. Don't worry, I have the same issue.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We didn't have meetings this month. We're going to have meeting in December. And if anyone wants us to have a new topic or any topic you want us to bring it to the meeting, please let us know. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Next is housing with Katie.
So the Housing Committee met last Tuesday, and our guests were from the Department of Homeless Services and Bowery Residence Committee regarding the construction of a Long Island City family shelter next to Queensbridge houses at 39-78 11th Street at 40th Avenue. This is a project that was in the works pre-pandemic. And we all know the housing crisis that our city and our communities are in. And we also all know that our neighborhoods and our neighbors in Queensbridge and other public housing campuses are unduly and unfairly burdened with additional homeless shelters and no actual investment and support systems put in place. So, as much as we applaud the work of Bowery Residence Committee and their work in other locations around the city, the committee does not support this project, and something that came up during the conversation was the committee coming to the board to request that we write a letter. There is no letter? No, but we wanted to, this is something we talked about during the meeting that you were part of, that we wanted to submit a letter saying that we do not support it. So this project is as of right, they're able to build it based on the current zoning in this area. Corinne was there, and I just want to thank the committee members that were able to attend and the board members that were able to attend. It's obviously, nobody wants anyone to suffer and to be homeless. The issue is equity and other neighborhoods shouldering the responsibility of caring for our homeless and housing insecure neighbors. So, we do not support this shelter in this location without sufficient and necessary additional support being there, and since that isn't part of the project, we don't support it. Currently, they have approved plans for the demolition of the structure that's currently on the site. They do not yet have approved plans for the project that they want to build. So with the support of Councilmember Wan, she also does not support this project. It's a bit of a tricky situation because technically they can build it and they were looking to break ground in January, but we would like to express to the city agencies with the support of the council member that we do not support this use. We propose that they can apply for a zoning variance and they can come before the board to build supportive housing or truly affordable housing, deeply affordable, whatever we want to call it, to allow residents that are currently in NYCHA to be able to move and have access to this new potential housing and allow other families to move into NYCHA. I wanted to know if I could just allow any other board members that were at the meeting if they would like to share their perspective or any other thoughts about this. Since we haven't discussed it as a board, and it hasn't come before the board in many years, and no pressure, if you don't have anything to say. Oh, Corinne, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And you did a wonderful job presenting that meeting. That was a little lengthy. It was a lot. And you did a wonderful job moderating the meeting as well. Because it was a lot. It was a lot of emotions. However, one thing you forgot to mention is that we have 34 shelters within a mile radius from Queensbridge houses. There are 38, I believe, in the combined community boards 1 and 2. 34 in community board 1. So it is not equitable. It's not fair. It's just not fair. If we want to build anything, it should be affordable housing at whatever capacity you feel affordable is, but a shelter, no. When they agreed to this, we didn't have 1 shelter. We now have 34.
Katie, anybody else?
Hi.
All right.
So I just want to echo that exact kind of sentiment. And so I was recently at a Dutch Kill Civic Association where they mentioned that there was the Holiday Inn Hotel that's on 39th Avenue and 29th Street could potentially, or there are potential plans to make that a shelter. And so I don't know if that's anything on the radar of the Housing Committee or anything on the Community Board. But that was one of the concerns that was brought up because we have been inundated with many of these shelters. And yes, these individuals need the help that they need, but I do think that Long Island City and Astoria has burdened its fair share of this, and it needs to be delegated to other neighborhoods as well.
Katie, do we need a motion or anything?
I don't know. I think I need guidance from the executive committee on what needs to happen next. I just would like guidance from the executive committee on what we need to do next in order to submit a letter. Okay. Okay. No problem. I'm just seeking, the committee seeks advice from the executive committee on the next steps in regards to, do we call a motion, do we get a vote today, and then do we submit a letter to the board office?
All right, so the executive board will have to get back to you then.
No. Or I'm just saying here, it's from Marie, former chair. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I would like to make a motion on behalf of the Housing Committee for the Community Board to submit a letter to the Department of Homeless Services rejecting this proposal for the homeless shelter at 40th Avenue and 11th Street, and that we do not want to see any additional homeless shelters in the community, that we would like to see housing, permanent housing, supportive housing, transitional housing built, because we've burdened our fair share.
Point of process?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry.
I'll second it.
Hold on. Everyone stop.
Transitional
You
housing.
make a motion?
That's to submit a letter
Okay.
on behalf of the committee and the board.
Motion made, second?
Second.
No, I think we need a draft. No? But this is a point of process question.
We're just going for a motion. You made a motion, are we seconding it or tabling it?
I second.
You're seconding it?
We don't need a draft?
Now we can discuss.
Now we can discuss it.
Rod, please, Rod.
Rod, yeah.
So on the floor.
And you want motion be brought to the floor, it needs to be seconded. Before that.
Thank you.
Oh, unless you're asking her to modify the motion.
I'm making a point of process inquiry. So I'm asking about our process, which is why I'm going to in front of us. That's all.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you both. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. We're going to vote on the motion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone abstaining or no? No. Two? You say no or no? Abstaining. Everyone stop talking, I can't listen to everybody. There's a motion made, and you both said no or abstaining?
No.
No, okay.
I'm also now.
3 no's. So the motion passes. Has everyone else voted yes? Okay, motion passed. Discussion now. Any discussion? So we have discussion after the motion? Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, happy
I'm
Thanksgiving,
going back for a
thank
second.
you.
Does anybody have any further to add to this or comment on this since I was out of order? No? Okay, matter's closed. Okay. Anything else, Katie? I'm sorry.
Mike.
Rod?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I forgot because I'm loud. I would like a mechanism so that people can see that beforehand, and I'm not making it part of the motion. I'm just saying if you could put some transparency in the process, I think a lot of people on the board would like to weigh in on it. But that's all.
So we're submitting a draft to the, yeah.
Normally, the letter gets drafted, it goes to the chair and the chair of the committee, and the chair and the chair of the committee send it out. If it's something that's come to committee for a vote, a general vote that has had a presentation, then there's a draft letter. Every single circumstance does not get a draft letter. It never has.
Yes, I'm asking the chair to veer from that typical thing so that folks that are interested in this topic can contribute to the letter.
Okay, let me...
Okay.
It's just a request, it can be denied. That's all it is.
That's
It's not a
fine.
motion, it's not
We're all
nothing.
about transparency.
All right, guys.
And I've never done this before, and that's why
Okay,
I'm...
we have a
deferring
motion
this.
to formulate a letter.
No. No. No.
Slow down. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so,
What do you want to do, Katie?
no, we will share it with the board office, and then Florence and her team will make sure that the full board can see it.
Yes.
Okay, and if there are any additional questions, I'm on that list. You can email Vanessa and I directly and copy Florence and Evie. And happy holiday.
So does everyone agree? Yes? Okay. Next is land use and zoning. Elizabeth, Andreas, and or Jerry.
We have no report this month.
Happy.
We just want to wish you a good Thanksgiving. And that we are having a meeting in December 4th. The agenda's not set as yet, but we will meet at the very least.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Rod, legal and parliamentary.
No report.
I have a,
Holidays.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. No, so he has no report. Do you have something to add?
I have a question for
Question for Rod? Okay.
parliamentary. Just another point of processing query. I'm curious, is it permissible by our bylaws for a chair to dismiss public speakers by classification? Like saying people on this topic can no longer present? Because my understanding was, despite, yes, it can be very long nights, that we are sort of obligated to take however many speakers, whoever lines up, and not say everyone on this topic is dismissed or something like that. Just want to make sure I know this is first time, all respect, I just want to make sure we're following our bylaws
I would need to refer back to the bylaws, but the bylaws say that a meeting should be run by Robert's Rules of Order. Robert's Rules of Order does allow a chair to limit discussion on a topic.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
I'll refer back to that, and if I'm wrong, I'll make sure that we'll talk about it.
Thank you.
In the meantime, we did have 3 speakers, and we did take a poll of who else was speaking on their behalf. So we did attempt. I do want to get through this meeting. If there's anybody else, they can send, and I did say to send Lawrence a call or a fax or an email, so they have an opportunity to present whatever they want to speak of.
Just make me part of it right now.
Okay.
If we go by procedure, it's always been done at this board, going back to the first chairman, Vinnie Donato. He would tell people, please, if you're all speaking on the same topic, raise your hand. People would raise their hand and the meeting would move on. So if you say grandfathered in, that terminology, it's been grandfathered in, that's how it's been traditionally done, going back to the very first chair of this board.
Okay, office budget and staff, no report. Parks and Recreation, Rosemary and Richard.
Yes, we did not have a meeting this month, but this morning actually we did go on a walkthrough on various parks. The meeting was called by Councilwoman Kaban, and she was with us with her staff. Also, Breaking Ground was with us, and the Parks Department, our Commissioner, Jackie Lanson, was there, and we also had Antonia Whitaker from the Department of Sanitation. What brought this on was the many of our fellow citizens have been complaining about the situations in the playgrounds in particular. They feel they're unsafe. They also felt that the rules were not being followed. There were a lot of adult men that were in the playgrounds and they're not allowed to be there without children. There's just been a lot of issues going on, and there's a lot of safety issues. So because of that, the group we walked through, we went to Athens Square Park, Ditmars Park, and Hoyt Playground, and we checked out the area. We discussed within ourselves, so we've asked each group to come up with some ideas and try and get back to Kaban's office and see what can be done to try and alleviate this situation. We need to keep our parks safe, but we also need to respect everybody's rights. So it's a fine line to tread, but hopefully we'll come up with something to improve quality of life in all of our parks. So, and we'll have a meeting again, I think in December. I don't have an agenda yet at this point, but you'll be hearing from Florence on that. So that's our report for today, and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. Transportation, Dominic, or, I'm sorry, sir, I'm going to mispronounce your name.
Nas for sure, it's fine.
Public safety.
I'm sorry?
You skip your public safety.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right, no worries.
Pretty so small, my eyes are not like
I know, I'm having a hard time following with my glasses. So,
okay, go back to public safety. Sorry, Chris.
No worries. I just wanted to mention a couple of quick things. As most of you know, we met in September for the first time in quite a while. We had a good meeting. We are planning to have another one. I have not reached out to Florence, so I have a feeling December might be filling up, but if not December, certainly January. And I do want to really reiterate what Frank said. We are very interested in speaking to the folks who are here regarding the incident with the cyclist who was tragically killed because of a police chase. That is the type of issue that this committee should be looking at. So We'll try to get with some of you right after this meeting quickly, and then hopefully set something up in the very near future. I also want to say Frank's been doing an amazing job of setting up check-in meetings with our electeds. We're working on that. I think we have one with Senator Gonzalez's office set. Do I have that backwards, Frank?
Just so far, Caban's office.
Oh, Tiffany's office, but we're also working on Senator Gonzalez and Assemblymember Mamdani, and we will keep you posted on our work and hopefully have a date for the next meeting soon. Thanks, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Okay, now transportation. Dominic or Naz?
Yes, Dom was under the weather today, so he didn't show up. So our last committee meeting was on the 13th with Con Edison. They just presented regarding the LIC reliability and capacity project. So they're going to be connecting a couple of substations, and so there's going to be upgraded capacity and ability to deliver clean energy by their 2040 target, starting end of 2024, so very soon. And they should complete that by the summer of 26. Also, something we're going to start doing, although the reporting is a little tricky, is just like general traffic stats for as complete months as we can find. So, so far, September is pretty complete for CB1. We had 0 crashes with fatalities. We had 18 total crashes in the month of September with injuries, 3 cyclists, 2 pedestrians, 21 motorists. Total crashes with no injuries, 11. These numbers are with NYC Open data. It kind of gets tricky when you compare traffic stat with NYPD, because they don't get released with the same sort of groupings, but the rolling 28-day number as of this most recent week for total collisions is 141, and 58 of those had injuries. And there was 1 fatality. But we're still trying to figure out like a digestible way to present all that to you guys, just as a matter of context. And the last thing is, which I wanted to say for whoever came out for Amanda, public safety, I don't know if Dom reached out to you yet. We're also obviously very concerned about that. And so our community board is anomalous in terms of the amount of high-speed pursuits that NYPD has been engaging in. So it's totally on our radar. We want to do a joint meeting with public safety at some point, hopefully December, but if not, maybe January. And we want to address a bunch of stuff like the high-speed chases, the covered license plates, the ghost plates, things like that, because usually those chases involve individuals that have those on their vehicles as well. So stay tuned, and if you subscribe to the community board updates, you'll see whenever that next committee meeting happens. And that's it. Have a good night. Happy holiday.
Okay, thank you. Any other chairs have anything else to add before I move on? Okay. Next, we're under old and new business. Board members only. Anybody? Laura, would you like to say something?
For all of the people in the audience, we have a constant contact on our page. So if you sign up, you will get all the agendas for all the committee meetings. So sometimes committee meetings like the Joint Committee for Public Safety and Transportation is being worked on. It's not ready yet because we haven't gotten all the players in line for the agenda. But if you sign up, you will get emailed every single agenda from every single committee meeting. Please utilize our website. It is incredible. It is full of information for the community, and it's there at your fingertips, your cell phone, your personal computer. So there's no reason you wouldn't know what's going on in our community. Thank you. You could also call the board office, by the way, if you want to use a phone.
Okay. As a member, I have a question for sanitation. Could you please explain what the new bin law is that we're all required to do?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sanitation, right?
Yeah, sorry. I thought, we were trying to get someone from DSNY to come to our committee meeting, and for some reason, I guess they're trying to talk about this rollout, and we're last on their list. So if buildings that I believe are under 9 units, you have to have containerization. If you, they want, I mean, you can buy the trash bins from this, they have it on their website. You can get it, it has like their formal New York City logo. It's like $50, between 40 and 50, I think. But you need it for just regular trash. You don't need it yet for recyclables. Or, yeah, so you don't need that for recyclable. Marie, go ahead, sorry. Next year. Right, next year you have, because they're, I guess they're going to do new trucks. Yeah, but you can get, yeah, you can either purchase from them or you can purchase on your own. Thank you, Marie. I think there's a trial period and they're not going to start issuing, they'll give you warnings until I think February. Is it January 2nd? Thank you, Marie. Yeah. So you have to just, you know, make sure by January 2nd that you're up to speed. I don't know. I mean, we're going to try to see if we could get. Right, he did. Right, but we had other questions about whether, like, if you had more garbage, and I don't think he was sure. You have to have extra cans, but on the Q swab meeting, someone said that you could just put it on top of the garbage. So. Anyway, I would like, we would like him to come back at a committee meeting because there are other questions. But anyway, I'm not going to belabor the point. Did you have any other questions on the?
I do.
Okay.
I'd like to add something because I was with sanitation today and I was told by Antonio Whitaker that as of now you can also purchase these cans at Home Depot. So they are available through Home Depot. You don't have to go through the website. And eventually they will be required. Right now, if you have covered bins, you don't have to use the New York City ones right now, but you will have to down the road. Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
So my question is, as the homeowner, me and Southman I don't have to do anything right now for 26?
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll get a warning. You'll get a warning if you don't put it.
So I need just a trash one right now?
Right, you need to, with a lid.
And it doesn't have to be the city-provided one, I can
No.
have one similar one of my own?
No, the next 2026, then you'll have to chuck your current can and get the one that they require.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else under old and new business? Going once, going twice, closed, okay. Next matter, elected officials, representatives, you have 2 minutes.
Hey, my name's Claire.
Sign in, please.
I did.
Okay.
My name's Claire Collins. I'm the Community Board 1 liaison from the Office of Queensborough President Donovan Richards. So, in case you don't know, the Borough President's Office facilitates the community boards. So I just want to announce that the community board application process is going to open in January, and I'm going to have more information about that in the next meeting. And so now quickly I'll go through our events. On November, that was today, just kidding. November 21st, 6 p.m., we're hosting a panel on mental health and self-care during the holiday season. It's going to be at American Legion Post 483, which is at 24008 135th Ave in Rosedale. There's going to be experts from Emblem Health, Sarah's Haven, and Life Camp. There's going to be free group therapy sessions, mental health resources, refreshments, and then a chance to win a turkey raffle. And then on December 10th at 6 p.m., we're hosting our annual holiday tree lighting and toy giveaway at Borough Hall, which is 12055 Queens Boulevard. If you're interested in donating any toys for this, you can reach out to me, and then you can RSVP to any of our events at queensbp.nyc.gov. It used to be queensbp.org. We changed it. So, yeah. And then I have business cards. I'll put some on the table so you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
State your name and sign in, please.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Straub. I'm here from the Office of the Public Advocate, just with a couple updates. So just as a reminder, make sure to sign up for our bi-monthly newsletter, the Advocate Bulletin, which can help you stay up to date with our latest information and legislation. And that is at bit.ly/advocate newsletter. New Yorkers can still sign up for an updated COVID-19 vaccine, as well as flu shot at vaccinefinder.nyc.gov, and get free PCR tests and COVID-19/flu/RSV tests as well. Visit on.nyc.gov/COVID Express for that. You can find out about our upcoming events by following our Eventbrite page at nycpublicadvocate.eventbrite.com. And you can stay in touch with our office by reaching out to get help at advocate.nyc.gov or calling 212-669-7250 and leaving a message. And our office is also receiving constituents by appointment. Thank you so much, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please sign in and state your name.
Hi everyone, I'm Tessa from Councilmember Caban's office. Thanks for the shout outs from Public Safety and Parks Committee. It's been really nice to collaborate with you all on a bunch of things lately, so we look forward to continuing that collaboration. I'll start with our legislative updates. The City Council passed the FAIR Act, which we co-sponsored, which bans broker fees. We're also putting out this week, I believe, our updated report on LGBTQIA rights and protections in New York, and it's called Pride in Policy, so look out for that. So in terms of participatory budgeting, idea collection has finished, but we're looking for people who still want to get involved in the process. So you can reach out to us if you want to join the Civic Assembly and find out more about that and have a say in the projects that will end up going on the ballot. As usual, we're doing our Community Citizenship Now Day with an attorney who will do immigration consultations in our office on Monday, December 9th. So that's the next one. And then we're doing Astoria House's satellite office hours with many of our fellow elected officials on Monday, November 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And any of the people that spoke at the beginning about some of the issues that have happened in the community recently, feel free to talk with me after to hear about what our office is doing. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Please sign in and state your name.
Good evening, everyone. I'm with the Office of State Senator Kristen Gonzalez. My name is Kaylin Munoz. On November 25th, our office is holding office hours at the Astoria Houses Community Center from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. with CM Caban, AM Mamdani, and Rep. AOC. On Friday, November 22nd, our office will be participating in the distribution of 250 turkeys to constituents in Queensbridge, Ravenswood, and Astoria NYCHA complexes. Please be aware that these distributions are on a first-come, first-served basis. Queensbridge Houses giveaway is at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Ravenswood Houses is 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Astoria Houses giveaway is 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The Senator is very excited to see the results of the FAIR Act vote and hopes this provides relief to New Yorkers. Gentle reminders to please continue reaching out and reporting unlicensed cannabis shops to 311. We held a press conference this summer asking for quicker solutions and closures from the NYPD. Winter is slowly but surely approaching. Gentle reminders to everyone that your landlord is required to provide heating starting October 1st. If you are experiencing infrequent heat, gas, or hot water outages, please reach out to our office. In preparation for the upcoming legislative session, our office is collecting budget requests for the upcoming fiscal year. Please submit any statewide budget requests for either operational or capital expense beyond April 2025. If you're interested, I'll be providing information on how to submit the requests online afterwards. Finally, our office is preparing for the upcoming legislative session where we have new bills addressing AI and sustainability in the pipeline. Lastly, I hope everyone who celebrates has a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please state your name and sign in.
Thank you so much for your time. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany. I am from Congressmember Nydia Velasquez's office. Just wanted to give a few updates. So in regarding her FinCEN recording, over the summer she did a FinCEN event, which is basically called Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which basically requires all small businesses to report who is the owner of your small business. This is a new requirement because it is aiming to target fake businesses that are not real businesses. It's trying to target those fake businesses from doing illegal activities such as money laundering, fraud, human trafficking, and drug trafficking as well. The deadline is January 1st, but just wanted to remind you guys that there is a recording now online. It is on her Twitter, but I'm also going to send an email out by the end of this week, so be on the lookout for that. But I do have a little flyer at the front. This is what the website looks like, and this is what the Twitter handle is if you want to do it directly after this meeting or sometime this week. But I will give out all of the information from the CB2 email this week, so look out for that. Some sponsored legislation, HR 10119. This is basically to implement information technology risk management into the SBA. And lastly, HR 9988, which ensures fairness in the wake of disaster emergency, price gouging for disasters. Okay, if you have any questions, I'll be over here. I have my card in the front. I'm not shy, so please come to me. We can chat or whatever. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else, please sign in and state your name.
The pen's not working. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jingo Mahmood. I'm here on behalf of Assemblymember Jessica Gonzalez Rojas. Regarding an issue concerned across the borough, last month the Assemblymember convened a roundtable on human trafficking to bring elected colleagues, local organizations, and anti-trafficking groups together to come up with effective solutions to address and support survivors of trafficking in and around her district. She's the chair of the Human Trafficking Subcommittee in the Assembly, and she'll prioritize her bill, the New York CARES Act, that will provide the necessary support to survivors of violence in the next legislative session that starts, of course, in January 2025. If you'd like to read more about it, there was an article in the Queen's Post about the roundtable and the next steps that we have imagined. As for events, during this National Child Safety and Protection Month, Assemblymember will be joining the Lexington School of the Deaf tomorrow, Wednesday, November 20th, in the morning to kick off a capital campaign to renovate an indoor swimming pool in the facility. Assemblymember has allocated $1 million in capital funding towards this renovation, and the pool will be used for the school and the local community. As always, the number to reach our office is 718-457-0384. And we're located in the Jackson Heights Shopping Center if you'd like to schedule an appointment with us. Happy holidays. Have a good one.
Thank you. Next, state your name and please sign in.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kazi Mariam, and I am from the Office of Assemblymember Stephen Raga. We have a number of events, exciting events coming up on our calendar, and I want to take a moment to share with you. First, our Veterans Drive runs from November 12th to November 22nd in partnership with PS 229. We're collecting shampoo, conditioner, soap, and shower shoes. Items can be dropped at either our district office located at 5519 69th Street in Maspeth or directly at PS 229. On November 21st, we'll be hosting a Cleaning Your Home Safely workshop in partnership with the Department of Health. This will take place from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Boulevard Gardens North site located at 5142 30th Avenue in Woodside. The session will focus on safe cleaning your home, especially when you use cleaning agents that can pose health risk. Next, on November 23rd, we will be having two important events. In the morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're holding a nonprofit training session at the Elmhurst Hospital Auditorium located at 7901 Broadway in Elmhurst. This session is in partnership with the Astoria Worker Project, and EQEDC is designed to help nonprofits in corporations, communication strategy, and accessing grants and government funds. Whether you're interested in starting a nonprofit or already managing one, this session is for you. In the afternoon from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., we'll be hosting a Thanksgiving distribution at our district office. Constituents of Assembly District 30 are eligible to reserve one turkey per household with fresh produce. Please call our office to sign up if needed. Finally, from November 25th to December 16th, we're launching a new sock and stock drive in partnership with the Solution to Hunger. Starting next Monday, you can drop it off at our district office to help families in need during this holiday season. Thank you all and have a good night and happy holidays.
Please sign in and state your name.
Good evening, Community Board 1. My name is Angela, and I'm with the Office of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The Congresswoman is back in D.C. this week ahead of a very busy end of the year. The next shutdown deadline is on December 20th, and we encourage you to sign up to our newsletter to stay informed on any legislative issues impacting New York 14. The initial Medicare enrollment period is now open and will close on December 7th, so please be sure to double check your plans. You can join, switch, or drop a plan. Your coverage will begin on January 1st as long as the plan gets your request by December 7th. As a reminder, if you or anyone you know has a pending immigration case, you can check the status of your case online at egov.uscis.gov, or you can contact our office directly if there are any delays or expedite requests. And as a reminder, our office is here to help you with any issue pending before a federal agency. We're available at our Astoria office every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We share an office with Councilmember Caban. Thank you.
Thank you. Who are you sharing your office with, ma'am? Thank you. Anyone else? State your name and please sign in. Anybody else? Last call? Okay. I need a motion to adjourn. Thank you.